It's all the above, best believe we do it better. I want the fame, the fortune, all the above. I want the checks, the moolah, all the above. From Philadelphia to New York, all the above. Man, tell them other stations they don't do it like us. I want the fame, the fortune, all the above. I want the checks, the moolah, all the above. From Philadelphia to New York, all the above. Man, tell them other stations they don't do it like us. What up?
Hey, what's up, guys? It's your girl, Angel Marie from All of the Above, and I am joined here today by recording artist Courtney Shilo. How are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for joining me today. How's your week been? How's everything going?
It's been going pretty good. Happy it's the weekend, ready to relax a little bit, but I had a pretty good week. So
Exactly. We're getting ready for fall. Do you have any plans going on? Are you excited for fall? Is that one of your seasons?
yeah, I love fall because my birthday's in November. So fall is my favorite season.
You're right in the mix of the holidays. Do you ever get caught up with your birthdays or you still get your time to shine?
It does get a little, I don't know. I feel like some people are overwhelmed with like Thanksgiving and stuff around my birthday. So it kind of sucks because I'm like, I went to y'all stuff and then November gets here and then it's like everybody just got other stuff to do. So yeah, it can get caught up in the holidays for sure.
All right, you got to find that balance. So you ready to get into this interview?
Yeah, let's go. Let's get into it.
All right, so what inspired you to pursue a career as a recording artist?
I would say like growing up in the 90s and like just getting to experience 90s R&B and like there were like real R&B starlets that really made you want to learn how to sing because they just like could really sing. So I think like back growing up in that era definitely inspired me to want to pursue music.
I love that. Now, when it comes to your music, what kind of message do you like to relate through your music? What do you hope your audience gets out of it when they hear Courtney Shilo songs?
I try to be vulnerable in my music. I just want people to relay a message of like that trying to make a situation that might not feel good into something positive. So that's what I try to do in my music. So it might not be like the best feeling to be going through certain things, but then if you put it into music and then there's people that can relate to that. So that's always like important to me, like to be relatable to especially women.
Yes, I could dig that. And the fact that you want to be relatable to women, I want to know if you could give us a top 3 or a top 5 list, who would you say are some of your icons that inspire you today in music?
I would definitely say Beyonce, Jasmine Sullivan, and Brandy. Those are some of my top favorite people that I've looked up to for a really long time. So
Definitely heavy hitters. And I love that you mentioned Jasmine Sullivan. If you don't mind elaborating on her a little bit, because I feel like she doesn't get her flowers as much when you ask people about icons or people who inspire them. What would you say are some assets that you love about Jasmine Sullivan?
I love her storytelling in her music. Everything is like you can like picture everything she's singing about, like with her lyrics. And I love that. Like even like with Hotels, like the whole cohesive idea that she had, like, the different skits that all, it all like went together. I just think she's really creative. And her songs are very descriptive. I grew up listening to Fearless. I think that was her first album was Fearless.
Mhm.
Brown in high school. So I really learned how to, I think like do runs and stuff, like listening to her, like she definitely has like the vocal ability that a lot of singers are missing like today. So I feel like she's one of like the last great like vocalists that I've heard in a long time.
Yes, very rare nowadays, especially with the way people can mix and match the auto tunes and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have to get into your music. You recently released your new EP, Do Not Disturb, at the top of this year. So can you tell us a little bit about what inspired this project and a little deep dive into the background of it all?
So Do Not Disturb was it was inspired by me just going through a phase of like getting out of a relationship and just all the phases you go through when you're going through that. You go from like kind of like being in denial about it, and then you go to like bargaining, and then you kind of like coming to the realization that it's over, and then you go from that to like, okay, now that I've healed or whatever, like now don't come bothering me like when you see me doing my own thing. And then you realize like at the end of the day, like you're doing all this, but you really still want love. Like, I think that's all we crave for. So I was just going through different like emotions of a breakup. So I just put everything into a song and I just put it together. So that's how I came up with it.
Now, this album, or just the overall topic of a do not disturb, is so relatable to a lot of women. Have you received feedback from women about how this related to their current life or a stage that they're going through and it helped them get over an obstacle or just a theme song to their life, basically?
Yeah, I had a song that I have on SoundCloud. It's everywhere now, but it was pretty popular on SoundCloud. It was called Placement. And it was like a song about like a, a breakup too, but like seeing him with his new girlfriend and like trying to like, like comparing yourself to her and like that kind of sort of thing. And like, we don't hear from the other side of the, I guess a love triangle, whatever type of story. So it was a hard song to put out, but then I got a message from a lady who told me like, this song hits different for her because she was going through a divorce and like she listens to the song like every day. And that was deep for me. I'm like, dang, like, I thought I was going through, but like, this lady is married and, she's going through something too. And, I thought it was big to know that somebody was using my song as a tool to like get them through such a vulnerable time in their life. So that was deep.
That means a lot.
Yeah.
What would you say is your favorite song from Do Not Disturb and why?
I would say my favorite song is Make Up.
Can we just make up? 'Cause I don't wanna stay mad at you. Then something bad happens and we never made up. No, I can't handle that, so boy, just come on back and let's make love, love, love. Will we fight when we can just make love, love, love? Will we fight when we can just make love?
I like that song most because I kind of get to like, of course, I do a lot of singing throughout the whole EP, but I got to kind of do a little playing with rapping a little bit on the second verse. So it was kind of fun to like bring that part out of me. So I think, that's definitely my favorite song on the EP.
Had a little alter ego come out?
A little bit, yeah. See, well, my homeboy called me C Roller when I started. So he already got a little alter ego name for me and everything.
Yes. Now, when you were creating Do Not Disturb, what would you say is one challenge that you faced and how did you overcome that?
A big challenge was funding it. Honestly, it took a while, to complete everything. So I just kind of had to like make us like pretty much not try to rush the process and like realize like even though it's 5 songs, it might take this much time because it's gonna cost this much to record it, and then you got photo shoots, you got all this stuff. So just kind of like budgeting and stuff helped to get it off the ground because it was it's not cheap to be an independent artist. So that was my biggest obstacle.
Yeah, it's like you can't depend on the big time labels and executives to pay it all for you. You literally have to budget everything from your own pockets.
Yeah, I got bills. I'm like, it's wait, like you find yourself, budgeting, trying to pay for videos and stuff like that. So it's hard, but it's worth it.
Yeah, it's fulfilling, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, there was a point in your career where you performed at Showtime at the Apollo. Very legendary. So can you share with us that experience? What was it like performing? Did you have to go through audition process? What was that like?
So I was in a group in high school and my choir director was like pretty well connected in the music industry. Like he had put a couple groups together and stuff before, and he had took a group to the Apollo before. So he kind of had a connection to where he can like anybody who wants to take on the show, he kind of could just like walk them in. So we kind of got lucky. So we sent in an audition tape, but I think his connections kind of helped us get on the show. So We did The Best of My Love, which was, different for, we were young, so, it was kind of cool to do like a 70s song, that's a real vocally challenging song. But we were very scared because, we were old enough to be in the amateur show at this point. We were like in high school, but we weren't young enough to be on the kids portion. So we're like, we could get booed, like, it's up if they wanted to be like, we're not that young, like they could really get us off this stage. So we were
brutal out there too.
Yeah, it's very brutal. So that was the big thing. We were really, really, really nervous about that. So all we just said was like, we just want to get through. We just don't want to get booed. Like that was a big thing. That's all we were focused on, and we didn't get booed. We didn't win, but we didn't get booed. So we felt like that was
like a win in my book.
Right. That's all we were worried about. But that experience was great. Like that was like the first time like I had, been able to like see myself on TV and stuff like that. And like we got like a bunch of press from a small town. So that was a big deal. We got like newspaper coverage and we was on the news and all type of stuff. So like that was like the first time we were like, I guess like kind of got the treatment of like what it would be like if you
got a taste.
You know what I'm saying? I got a little taste. So that was a great experience for sure. Shout out to KK and Danielle.
Hey, shout out.
That was
that you're from a small town. You're from Texas, which is a huge state. Do you feel like Southern culture plays a role in your music?
Definitely. Just even the way like I pronounce things in my songs, like of course nobody thinks they have an accent, but
I hear the accent.
Right. But sometimes I hear it come out in my music. It's almost like a little country twang that I kind of add to R&B. And it's unintentional, but it really is probably just because that's how we talk down here. So I definitely think that it influences them. And of course, like, as I say, growing listening to like Destiny's Child and Beyonce and stuff. So we, you just listening to their music and like chopped and screwed music and stuff growing up. Like I still put elements of that in some of my music and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely it's been a huge factor.
Yes, you have hot sauce in your bag swag too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Now, in addition to being a music artist, you are also a talented visual artist. Can you tell us a little bit about your style of art and the type of things you like to create?
So I am a painter, but I also do printmaking. So I do like lino cuts. That's my favorite type of art to make is printmaking, even though I do still dab in painting as well. I also teach art, so that's a plus. But yeah, I like to do portraiture. That's my favorite, and I usually do like, and like I can't really get away from music. Like my whole thesis when I got my MFA was like me painting like the artists that inspire me. So like I had like portraits of like Ari Lennox and Selena and like Aaliyah and stuff like that. So even with my art, I still incorporate elements of music because my favorite people to paint are like the artists that I love. So
I like that. And how can people purchase your art pieces? Do you have an Etsy shop or do you have your own personal website where they can grab that?
I do have an Etsy shop. So it's Courtney Shilo Art on Etsy. I have digital prints. They're you can download them as PDFs and you just print them out yourself. So it's pretty simple. You don't have to wait on me to ship it to you or anything like that. So head on over to Etsy.
Hey, and do you also take personal custom requests from people as well?
I used to. I haven't done it in a while, but I am open to now that I'm done with school. Because I was in school. I graduated in May. So now I have a little more time.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I have a little more time now to take commissions. I was, taking a break from that because I was focused on graduating. But now that I'm done, yes, I am open to taking orders.
Hey, there you go. You guys heard it. Make sure you support. Now, with music trends forever changing and evolving, what are your plans? How do you plan to stay relevant and stay intact with your supporters?
I just putting out music more often. I think that's a big thing. Like a big way to lose supporters is if you don't put out music enough. I feel like people are like their attention spans are shorter these days. So like forgotten about if you go and take a hiatus for 3 or 4 years, which I've done in the past, but I realize now the importance in the streaming era of putting out work on a consistent basis. So I plan to, connect with them by releasing more music,
That's facts. And out of everything that you have done thus far in your career, what would you say is the most memorable or your favorite moment so far?
I would say going to the Tampa Music Conference. I got invited to perform there, and it was such an honor because I'm like, who am I? Like, why would y'all, But I was, really excited for that. Just getting to experience that stage and like getting to hear all the great panelists there, and everybody wanted to take pictures with me. And so it was just really cool. So I really enjoyed that experience. It was very memorable. And I got a vlog of it. So it's on YouTube.
Hey, that's so dope. Now, what is next for Courtney Shilo? What can our listeners expect to see and hear from you in the future?
More videos. Still, trying to roll out stuff from my last EP, but I am working on new music that I plan on dropping in the next year. So, be looking out for that. I'm trying to, like I said, stay consistent. So I'm planning. I have been recording music, so I plan on dropping it very soon.
Hey, and with that new music on the way, how can our listeners stay up to date with everything that is going on in your world? How can they find you? How can they stream your music? All of that good stuff.
So you can find me on all social media platforms at Shiloso. That's SHILOSO. So that's Instagram and Twitter. And YouTube, just type in Courtney Shilo. Everything should come up. I also have a website, CourtneyShiloMusic.com, where it'll take you to all my links for my music, my Spotify, Apple, SoundCloud. I'm everywhere. So just type it in, Courtney Shilo, SHILO.
There we go. Tap in, guys. You literally have no excuse not to find Courtney Shilo because she is available everywhere. But before you guys go, make sure you also follow us. We are on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at _all-of-the-above-1. That's how you stay up to date with everything that is going on with our show. We are also on YouTube, so make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. That is where you are going to see this amazing interview today with Courtney Shilo, as well as a host of other interviews that we have done with past guests, celebrities, etc., etc. Also, make sure you check out our website at www.alloftheabove-podcast.com. That is where you will get more information and a host of links to all of our platforms, so you have no excuse not to find our show. Courtney Shilo, thank you so much. This has been such an honor speaking with you. You have amazing music, visuals, everything. I loved the recent music video that you have. What was it? Silence, I think it was called. The visuals, it reminded me of like early 2000s R&B. Like
that's my niche. I love that era, 90s, 2000s. I'm trying to bring that back. So thank you for noticing that. Thank you.
Yes, I love that. I said, she on to something. Bring it back. And as always, guys, I'm your girl, Angel Marie from All of the Above, and we will see you guys next time.
Wednesdays at 7, Angel Marie and Kevin playing the illest records, bringing us back together. Philly is all season, swimming through any weather, leaving the track bleeding. When we pull it together, we applying my pressure.